Okay, it's Tuesday. Let me think. Tuesday, the last day of March, uh, 2026, and I've got a lot of bad news lately. I've said already I've been pretty hard hit. Without getting into technicalities, I'm having to replace a bunch of stuff. Among other things, now all the tablets have been affected, and so I resorted to trying for a PC kind of computer. It comes equipped with Windows 11 Pro, but I'm trying to find out more about Linux. Uh, it's a very disorganized uh, confrontation online. And it's not as straightforward as I might want. I guess Linux apparently appeals to people who think that they can have some sort of a very satisfying, granular experience. They think of Windows by comparison as equipped with very simplified idiot lights on the dashboard, and uh, it seems as though the Linux people probably want to have all the granular stuff beyond a mere Tesla experience. Nevertheless, all of that aside, maybe I can get some fairly reasonable sounding or seeming uh, information. I guess the crucial information. Well, okay, after all is said and done, what do I have to do? Well, I know that I'll have to get a flash drive of about 20 gigabytes for any reasonable facility with the problem. Um, but beyond that, I can't decide between the operating systems and so on. Meanwhile, while I was hassling myself with preliminary information on that, out of the corner of my eye or something, I was paying attention to Senator Sanders. He said that the head of some part of Google predicted that AI will be 10 times faster than what we have now, and do all this, that, and the other. I couldn't help but think, for example, people keep fretting about that. Some people say, oh, it's the land of milk and honey, according to a few computer freaks. Well, it won't be that, but what they're proposing or what they're predicting amounts to saying that AI will be able to get going to the extent that it can lap the field in terms of meeting the needs of users. And that the result would be a kind of eerie thing, uh, their progress will be that they will run widely and far and be back at your side, having accomplished everything, and can just hand you the keys to your car parked just next to the track where people are running desperately. It's as though AI has left the block near where you're standing and is straining to run a relay race, or rather, is straining to run a long, not a 220, but some other, a mile or something. Say it's a mile run. It's as though AI has started all that and hasn't yet left the field. so that, you know, he could finish the conversation only a few moments uh, later, as if he hadn't gone anywhere. Uh, well, there are many things in life that are that way. People lap the field, and if you didn't know better, you would think that you were ahead of them. But actually they run the whole mile or something like that. But the promise is that you're not going to feel like, that you're ahead of someone who has left the field, but that someone will lap the field and jog right up to you and resume, and you will not have been waiting long at all or whatever like that. It'll all be easy and comfortable and so on. However, some are saying that the cost is irreducible in terms of the energy consumed by AI in the future. In other words, the run to left the field and catch up with you quickly is going to be all those calories. That if you're taking a stroll on the racetrack, neither one is burning, calories very much. But if all of a sudden your companion laps the field and then very soon is right back beside you, well, of course, to do that and to accomplish all that he did along the way takes a hell of a lot of energy. Now, I have some things to say about that. I think that cost will diminish over time, so it won't be quite so horrendous as the analogy might suggest. But it is logical in the sense that all of that effort costs money and costs energy, and material, money for material and energy. And but yes, some say we're headed for a crash or something terrible. We're not. It's just that it'll be very much like a runner. You're walking along the track, and the runner just suddenly takes off, and he's, back within 5 minutes, maybe less than 6 minutes, and he will have used a lot of energy, and what he will have done over the course of that effort is many chores that computers will be able to do on a time and energy efficient basis. And people will not be, thrown off the track or something, or there won't be a big hullabaloo. Now that's because of what's possible. People know what's possible, but they're not putting the same careful effort into getting that particular thing done the way they did, for example, when people decided to go to the moon and to return them, to take people to the moon and return them safely to Earth. We were much more careful so that they actually would return. We almost lost some folks, but it didn't actually happen because of how things came together. But the fact is, we know what would work, but we don't know that there won't be slothful conduct somehow in that effort. Because, it's not really quite the same kind of life or death situation as a moonshot. But, au contraire, what they're going to try to do involves many lives. It's just that there's not a particular emphasis. Now, what that means in terms of failures, well, there have been some, and they haven't been publicized much, but there has been a shift in emphasis from AI to the quantum physics considerations, and that has daunted some people, and then the others are very pleased because AI can help with that problem that people have with, you might say, something that's new to them. But today I have been almost incapacitated. I tried to hook up a few wires to make do, and I could hardly even remember what I was doing. And at one point, I plugged the rat's nest of wires, and lo and behold, at one point I plugged an extension cord into itself. And that's pretty bad, that's when I quit, and I'll wait until other components come in and make it simpler. But meanwhile, I paid $250 for a UPS, or whatever they call them, the thing to protect circuitry, and it was stolen. Just flat out stolen. October 7th. And I've been slaughtered by that again. There are many indications about how this place is exactly as bad as the other, just different, a different version of the same results that leadership or control has provided. And that has led to, enough pain that I don't get good sleep and so on. I'm trying to get to the point where that might be alleviated a little bit, but it's the same old story, and I've wasted far too much time recording about that, so I'll stop at this point and enjoy one of the few pleasures I have, and that is a few swallows of Diet Pepsi. And beyond that, I don't really know what I might expect.